This is Frank Islam, Chairman and CEO of FI Investment Group, and your host of Frank Islam Show, where we interview leading voices from business and politics that impact you, the viewer. Today, our guest is Mr. Raj Kumar. He's a peace and youth activist from Pakistan. He's the first Pakistani to receive the State Department's Emerging Leaders Award. He has worked for projects focusing on countering violent extremism and promoting pluralism in society. He's currently pursuing his graduate degree at Baruch College in New York City. Thank you for coming to our show, Raj, and it's wonderful to see you. So,
Thank you for
tell us
having
a
me.
little bit about you. Go ahead. Thank you for coming. Tell us a little bit about your story and your journey, and why.
Sure.
What are you doing in the United States? And you are the role model for many people in Pakistan and all over the world for the young generation. As I understand, you are a Pakistani Hindu and you come from Sindh. So
Yeah,
tell us a little bit about your remarkable story and journey.
sure. So, as again, thank you so much for having me, Frank. As you already said, that I come from Sindh, which from a very small town of Umarkot, which is a underprivileged, socio-economically deprived, and drought-hit area of Pakistan, where more than 300 kids die every year because of the malnutrition. So my journey has been it's been more of a roller coaster ride so far. And I pursued my graduate undergrad from Zab Islamabad. In the meantime, I was also awarded a fully funded scholarship, and I pursued my semester. I went on my semester exchange program at Juniata College, Pennsylvania. When I came back to Pakistan, I think that was a transforming journey for me, and that's where I started working on the different projects in Pakistan, such as promoting peace through arts, music, sports, and dialogue. I have worked on women empowerment. I'm one of the advisors for UN Women in Pakistan, and I'm running a school in my hometown, and I have worked in my community on promoting entrepreneurship amongst local. So I'm here. I recently came. It's hardly been a month since I came here in United States to pursue my master's in international affairs, because that's what interests me the most. Looking at the Pakistani diplomatic deficits, so I thought I might be a good addition in future for the diplomatic community of Pakistan, since I come from minority community and everybody has this stereotypes and preconceived notions about minorities
Very
in
well said.
Pakistan. So I thought one day I will probably, uh, eliminate all those negativities and stereotypes the
Very well said.
world has
You
regarding.
know,
Thank you.
I also come from minority community in India, unfortunately. And India has the largest Muslim population in the world, the largest Muslim
Yes,
population in the world. So, Raj,
indeed.
what challenges did you face as a minority in Pakistan? Did you face discrimination, hostility, prejudice, filled with hatred and bigotry because of your faith? What are your thoughts? Also, tell me a little bit about your citizenship bill in India, which excluded Muslims. And so, tell me a little
So,
bit about did you or did you not face any hostility and prejudice in Pakistan? Who you
uh,
are?
of course, I mean, Frank, to be honest, I would say everywhere. Even either it's in states, either it's in Pakistan or India, people who are in the minority, they have to have go through this hostility and the discrimination, which is very sad. It should not happen. When I was in Sindh, to Sindh is considered as a land of Sufi mystics, the land
Yes.
of Sufi saints such as Sachil Sarmas, Shehbaz Kalandar, the big names, and people have been
Hmm.
living together in Sindh for centuries. I come from a town which is famous for the interfaith harmony that we have in Tharparkar.
So you said
There's a religious,
interfaith dialogue. You talk about interfaith
eh, eh,
dialogue. Is that what
yeah,
you
but
said?
I mean, it's an
So
I said
those
interfaith
you are an advocate of interfaith dialogue to build bridges of understanding and cooperation, correct?
That's true. That's true. That's true. But I mean, Thar Parker is an epitome of peace and harmony. People have been living, Hindus, Muslims, they have been living together for decades without any
For
discrimination.
decades, for
But
thousands of years, for
yeah,
thousands
of
of
course,
years,
I
they're
mean,
living
thousands.
together.
That that's true. If you actually go into the Indus Valley civilization, they definitely it's 1,000 years back where they have been living together. But when I went to Islamabad to pursue my undergrad, I think I did had to go through this discrimination because I would say people are very more ignorant because they don't know there are 4 million Hindus that are living in
So
Pakistan
there are
because
four.
when
Oh,
yeah, sure.
oh, I did not know there are
four
4 million Hindus in Pakistan. That's a fairly
yes,
large
and
population.
that's that's the largest minority in Pakistan after Muslims. It's the
Well,
largest
Muslims.
minority in Pakistan after I mean before the first largest minority is Hindus and then Christian and then
That's what I
other
thought.
religious minority. Yeah, yeah.
So
So
other
so
religious
that's
minorities, Bahoras, and other
Bahura.
minorities there.
But yes, there are a couple of others as well. So I mean, that's when I felt discriminated. But I think at the same time, it gave me a room to work more on that. Because when we talk about the minorities, I would say Shias are the minorities because if you actually look at the figures, in fact, they have been killed in thousands of numbers in Pakistan. It's not the Hindus, not the Christian, but if you actually look at the numbers, I would say Hazaras are the minorities because they've been killed in Quetta. There was a time when there was blast every week on Hazara community, which makes me more sad. But Hindus, because you know what, when we say that I'm a Hindu, people would perceive you as a Indian. They don't. They always ask question. They always question your patriotism. They always think that, oh, you must be Indian. It's like, no, I'm Pakistani because we Hindus from Sindh, we are the land owner. We never migrated from Pakistan. We have been living there even before the Muslim came from the other side of the border to Pakistan. So, I mean, that's how the scenario back in Pakistan.
Very well said, and I am so glad that you're an advocate of the interreligious dialogue and also Sufism and also the arts and culture, which brings the people together.
Yep.
And arts and culture
Yep.
transcends our boundary. It represents the best of our humanity. Uh, so, uh, so I know you felt discriminations and hostility and prejudice. Would this give you any strength and courage to move on to do better than anybody else, which I did in the United States as an Indian American? But remember, America has given me personally, and for that matter, thousands of the NRI Indian diaspora, the opportunity to succeed, the letters of opportunity to succeed. That these are the strengths and values of America that all of us can proudly and truly embrace. And America is such a great country because we are a nation of immigrant. We came from all over the
True.
world. And look at my own personal story, for that matter,
Yes.
right? And that will
Yes.
probably
Very
never
inspiring.
happen in anywhere else in the world except United States of America. And so
That's
tell me a little. I wanted to shift the gears and talk about the youth population. As you know, Pakistan has a large youth populations, and
yes.
how do you go about helping them to achieve
hmm
the fullest potential in terms of the mentorship, entrepreneurship, educations, and the business?
Um, I mean, if you actually look at the population, I mean, that's an asset any country can have. The youth population, which is around 65%, which is amazing. But
It is.
when we actually look, yeah, yeah, it's when we actually look at the picture right now, I think the population has been politicized first, and then you see the growing number of extremism in Pakistan. It's because of the narrative the narrative that Pakistan have, and when we look at the incidents such as Mumtaz Qadri incident, we have seen that a larger number of youth, they are the followers of Mumtaz Qadri, who is actually an assassin of a sitting governor, Salman Taseer. So there is a bad side, but I mean, again, if you actually look at the positive side of the youth, there is a lot of room that you can do. Because for me, I have been working on interfaith harmony for last like 5 years. I have worked on CVE. So what we did was, we connected them with the medium of arts, music, sports, and dialogue. And then I have been working myself in helping them as a career counselor, and then running schools back in my hometown. The last project that I was doing was promoting SMEs in Pakistan, which helped the local
Science,
youth to
science, math, and
build.
engineering.
Yeah,
SME,
so
science, math, and engineering.
no, SMEs is small and medium enterprises.
It's small and medium enterprises. Very well said.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a small and medium enterprises. So you see, the thing Pakistani youth is has complex themselves is because they are so much dependent on a state. But if you actually look at the economy of state, United States, the economy depends on the SME, small and medium enterprises. But Pakistani youth, all they want is pursue a degree, go after job. That's not how one should do, because we have not been promoting entrepreneurship in our country. But looking
Very
at the
well said.
youth, if you promote the entrepreneurship, they don't really need jobs, because one of the biggest challenges Pakistan has is unemployment. The economy is, it stands still. The overall, the economy is shaking. So if you promote the entrepreneurship, these youth can be an asset to the country, and they can do amazing businesses in their own hometowns. There's larger room, but there's not, they are not very well aware of entrepreneurship. There's no much
Well,
incubation centers back in
right.
Pakistan. There,
Very well said.
otherwise it would have been, I mean, an amazing,
So the
an amazing
environment
asset to the country.
environment does not exist for them to excel.
Exactly, very well said.
And that's the and also there's you do not have the capital and the seed money, and people do not you don't have venture capitalists who are willing to help them, and that's the part there are many other challenges, but those are some of the
That's
challenges that they face.
that's true. That's true. I mean, in our case, I think because there's a women chamber of commerce, there are U.S. embassy that has been working in Pakistan for last couple of years, giving the seed money, not as just a venture capitalist, but even as an angel investor as well. So there's always a room, but they you need to aware them about these opportunities that already exist. So the people who are aware, they have been taking all the opportunities. There's a bunch of people who have been taking all these grants again and again to them. But because the majority of youth, they're they are just after the jobs. That's, you need to aware them about the
So
entrepreneurship.
they just go on to work. They do not want to create a job, build prosperity. So what are the major
Exactly.
challenges Pakistani youth face? You talk about education is very important to make it more affordable, accessible. Entrepreneurship is important, and also to create an environment for them to excel,
Yes.
and also to make. What about the female entrepreneurship and female population?
It's
I do not want them to stay inside what I consider the house. They need to exploit their fullest potential. They have so much to give.
very true. As we say, women are half the sky, half of the sky. So, even in Pakistan, the half of the population is women, but when you see, they are subject to domestic violence. They don't have the
Yes,
same they don't have the same opportunities as men. They don't go to school. If you actually look at the fact and figure, the women, they are more women are the dropout from the schools and colleges compared to the male. So that's actually sad. But the economy cannot excel if men and women, if they don't work together hand in hand. So they don't have the opportunities, because Pakistan, considering that it's a patriarchal system we have, we don't. It's very unfortunate that the men does not allow their female counterparts to go and work, because they don't realize that that's what makes a family great. That's what it's a lot in their family economy, in their family income as well, and even to help the nation grow as well. But they don't have the same opportunities is compared to the male, and that's very sad, I would say.
Is it also true, Raj, for the Christian population as well, that the women are sort of left behind and not to be part of the conversation in terms of entrepreneurship, innovation, and creativity? Is it a little bit better
That's
for the Christian population than the Muslim populations?
No, I think it's the worst for the
It's a
Christian
uniformly.
population. No, it's I think for the Christian population it's even more worse than Hindus, because even if they get the jobs, the most of the jobs they get is the cleaning, which is
Oh,
the sanitary jobs, which is cleaning up the roads. They don't have is more opportunities as the Hindus or other minorities have. So they are left behind, definitely left behind, far behind than Hindus or any other minorities.
you talk about the Christians.
Yeah, the Christian one.
Okay, but the Hindu population, as you saying, the Hindu girls, the youth, that's what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I have a lot more opportunity than the Muslims, are about the same.
No, I think it's more about the same with the Muslims. I think it's more about, I would say, family structure, because I come from a family individually where my father is a primary school teacher and he promotes education among all of us. Well, it when I talk about my uncles or relatives, there are families who doesn't let their women go out at all. Does not promote.
So
So
they
it's
want to
actually about the
confine them,
mindset.
right? They
Yes,
want to confine them into four walls, which is a
that's
very
true. That's true.
sad, selfish, and shameful. Let's talk about
That's very shameful.
what the Pakistani diaspora can do to help Pakistan to achieve its full potential. As you know, they have the capacity, the capability, and responsibility to make it happen. So give us a little bit of what they can do.
I think first of all, I would say what Pakistani youth, like me, like many others, what they need is a space. We first of all, it's very unfortunate that we even don't have a freedom of speech. When we talk about the movements in Pakistan, you must be aware of the PTM, the Pashtun Tahfuz movement in Pakistan, and any other person in Pakistan who wants to do something, and who, because when we talk about the Pakistani, the diaspora of Pakistani American or Pakistani that are living in different countries, what they can do is they can definitely be an ambassador of maybe they can be a critic to Pakistani government who has been silencing lots of voices back in Pakistan. I'll give you more example about that. So for me, the biggest challenge is, because I'm a student of international affairs. I have been reading and writing a lot about the establishment, because majority of our budget, it goes to the establishment, the army, to the defense, right? 70% of it. And it's very sad because countries such as Pakistan and India, I think the most of the budget should go to education, health, and other sectors. But unfortunately, it goes to defense, which is very sad. And we talk about such things, either we are being silenced, or either we have been, kidnapped. And this is the same thing for most of the Pakistani who really want to raise their voices, but they can't. So what the Pakistani diaspora living abroad they can do is they can be an ambassador of those people who are really, who are talking about such stuff. And because a lot of people, a lot of our Pakistanis, a few days back, they have been arrested for protesting peacefully in different parts of Pakistan. So that's one of the things which really makes me sad, and that's when the Pakistani diaspora can help us achieve one thing.
So
And
you
of
made
course,
a good
other than
point.
that,
Yeah, you made a point of freedom of press, freedom of expression,
yes, yes,
respect for the humanity, and make sure the
yes,
people's voices are heard. That's what creates the
yes,
culture of bringing people together. and the this is important. But in some cases, India is facing the similar challenge under this government: the suppressions of press,
Yes,
suppression freedom of
yes,
expression, and what they're doing with the citizenship bill is a totally,
yes.
you know,
It's a disaster.
what I consider is immoral, and is a threat to the national
That's true.
security, to excluding Muslims, and uh, and so you have the same view that I do, that we need to, in order for us to create a common cause, we have to
True.
make sure that the people can speak out and thus and speak up and step up, and to have the
That's
freedom of press.
that's very true. But when I compare India and Pakistan, I think India is far ahead in terms of Pakistan
In what
because it's a
sense they're
secular
far ahead?
nation. Well, they
It
are
is
secular
supposed to be
nation, and
secular nation. Yeah,
it's
you say
supposed to
it's a
be
more.
the see because it's again it's a democracy, right? That's what we can believe. But if you look at Pakistan, I don't really think we have a long way to go to be as a democracy as India is. Well, CAA, that's again a big debate, and I think it's very sad and unfortunate. But you see, there are people who are protesting. I know the Amit Shah and the Modi government, they have been pretty harsh to the protester. But I mean, as if we compare the figures, well, Pakistani government, they should give more space to the voices. They should let the democracy grow. And that's when we all grow, when democracy grows, because United States all it's again the biggest democracy in the world, and what we are again very much struggling to be a democratic nations, and we have a long
So
way to go.
you said it very well, and I want to talk to you about a couple of more items. That you
Yep.
want Pakistan to be global beacon of hope for democracy around the globe, so
Yes.
people can use them as a role model. And India is definitely a secular country; it's a part of their constitution.
Yes,
Unfortunately, the incident that's happening right now, as you mentioned, is very disappointing and dismaying.
it is.
And this is not how you bring the people together. They need to concentrate on their economy, in employment and
That's
job.
true.
And Hindu and Muslims division is not going to make their economy grow. It doesn't bring the
Exactly.
people together. One of the most important thing about America is the religious freedom, as the
True.
Constitution says. About the one when we had a problem with Thomas Jefferson instituted the Virginia of freedom, and that also was a part of our Constitution when the Quaker faced the discrimination. And when President Kennedy spoke up, he said, "The attack of one faith is attack on all faith." And when we attack each other
That's
based on the faith, we are tearing apart the harmonious fabric of a nation. So tell us a little, what is the Raj? What advice do you give to the young people
I
besides
mean,
stay get good education?
yeah, I mean,
Tell us a little bit.
so what I've seen is uh again, there are a lot of people who really wanted to pursue their dreams, but sometimes they just lose the hope, because I have been talking to a lot of people of my same age. They believe that they believe that pursuing a degree in United States is a big thing. But what I really want them to know is it is pretty easy, because I believe when there's a will, there's a way. I come from a very humble, economically humble background, and I honestly had no funds to be here, but I worked on it. It was hardly a matter of 6 months. I'm here. I'm pursuing my degree on a scholarship. It's like you have to work hard to actually be there where you want to see yourself. And the best thing about doing something is you should own the community. I never ran away. It's my fourth time in States. I came here in 2013. I did a project with Harvard, but I kept on going back to community, and I kept on working for them, building a much more economically progressive community back in my hometown. So you need to own the nation. You need to own your community and start working for them. because it's more of a karma. You do something good for the community you come from, you'll definitely, it's more of a directly proportional. You work for them, some things will come out for you. Things will turn out good for you eventually.
Well, let me Raj add, because there will be a lot of people who will be watching you as a role model for the young people, and you are a role model for young people. Um, get a good education, aim high, work hard, pursue your dream, be a lifelong learner, learn something new every day, explore your fullest
True.
potential, and also
True.
have your own journey. My journey is Frank Islam journey. Bill Gates' journey is Bill Gates. Stephen Jobs' journey with Stephen Jobs. And make it your own journey. But when you're
Yeah,
successful, give the letters to opportunity for others to succeed. When they succeed, all of us will succeed.
that's
Would
very
you agree
true.
with
It's
some of
like
my
you have,
advice?
I definitely agree with Frank, what you've said. I mean, it's all about giving back to the community, giving back to the fellow humans. It's all about, I always believe that everyone's story is a unique story, and one should write their own stories by themselves. It's like you have a pen and a paper, you have to decide which story you want to create yourself, and you have to work hard for that, as you said, exploit your full potential and be there you where you want to see. I mean, you are a big inspiration, Frank. I mean, for every one of us, look at you. You have written your story, and everybody writes their own story, but I know that you're here because of your hard work, your passion, your commitment, your dedication. Everyone, they have to definitely follow your footstep. They definitely have to work hard for where they
Thank you.
want to see themselves.
Thank you, Raj, for being a guest. And thank you for
Thank you for
watching.
having.
This is Frank Islam wishing you a great week.